102.3 Abuja.
Let's spice up your day. Tune in to a breath of fresh air. It's all fun and games until it gets extra and better. 102.3 Extra, weekdays 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with Lee J. Cheers to something new.
Eagles Morning Rise. Eagles Morning Rise with
Prince.
The conversation continues. This is Eagles Outlook on your radio experience. You can count on Eagles 102.3. The time now is 9:38. We're talking this morning matters addressing insecurity and human rights matters. Our guest is Assistant Inspector General of Police Wilson Inalugu, retired. He's talking with us and sharing important thoughts with us this morning. You too can be a part of it. Call 090-7353-0044 or 090-8766-8888. You may want to send us a message on 090-9705-4450. Now, Gina Aligo, I'd love to talk about, you mentioned earlier that Nigeria police needs reforms. It needs to hire or recruit, capable people and all. But then I'm concerned about the recruitment. In 2018, the president, ordered that 10,000 constables be recruited every year over the next 6 years. And in 2020, there was, the 2020 recruitment was marred by, court cases and all, and it was recently resumed. Who do you think should have handled the recruitment? Because one of the issues that, what led to the litigation is the PSC saying they should be responsible for hiring or recruiting police personnel. The police itself saying, well, it is our responsibility, through the IG at that time, saying it is our responsibility to recruit police people. In this case, also, we have a situation where the requirement to be constable, to be recruited into the police force, would be 5 credits in your O levels. These are people who would handle rifles. These are people who, are expected to protect lives and property. Do you not think that there's a problem, in that process?
The Police Service Commission and the Nigeria Police Force Management Team each have their responsibility cut out, but they all have a duty to work together in the common good of Nigerians. We shouldn't be bickering over who has the authority to recruit or otherwise. But what I am concerned with, and I want to emphasize, is for the Police Service Commission and the NPF management team to come together and give Nigerians the best personnel possible to work in police force, because we can't continue to wait. I think that is one. Number two, I think there should be a task force constituted, if you ask me, the Ministry of Police Affairs, the Police Service Commission, and NPF, perhaps human rights and other relevant security agencies, to form a joint task force to conduct this recruitment, because inadequate number of personnel at the various police stations is a hindrance to their effective performance, because that has led to complaints by the public that when they report, they don't get help quickly. So that, in my opinion, they have gone to court. Let the court made the final determination. I don't think the Supreme Court, I'm told the Court of Appeal has made their own judgment. So, but what is so important is the national interest. It doesn't matter who has the authority, but for now, if you ask me, I would recommend a task force to handle recruitment with people from different NDAs that I've just mentioned. That is my response, to that. Whether you are a school sat, these soldiers, Policing is about intelligence. It's about information. I always say it. Yes, we've got to have rifle, guns, and all those things. But I tell you, somebody can carry a GPMG, general purpose machine gun, and with adequate intelligence, you can disarm the person. They can come in large number to approach a community. Why are these bandits that succeeding? If you watch the pattern of their attack, it's surprise attack. Therefore, it is for us to go back to the enemy line to understand the way his mind works, to understand fundamentally his modus operandi. And in doing that, the officers must come up with appropriate strategy. And that's why I talked about public. When they are mobilizing up to 50 people on motorbike, how do we get that information? Because in any battle, if you take away the element of surprise, you can succeed. But if you give the enemy an edge to operate in that secrecy and speed, which leads to surprise, you always be caught reacting. We should be proactive. And that proactivity cannot happen unless you have adequate information.
Speaking of information, some several people, in fact, just a few weeks ago, we had a guest on the program who was a kidnap victim who told us the story of how he was kidnapped somewhere around Nasarawa Road and was, and his father, who was in Jos, had reported the case to the police. And right there at the camp of the kidnappers, they told him, look, we told your father not to report to the police, but he has gone to the police command in Jos and reported, and for that reason we're going to kill you. So how would a man who was kidnapped in Nasarawa reported the case in Jos, and then the bandits in the forest got information that he had reported?
It goes as night follows the day, that whether you report or not, the bandits or kidnappers will know that.
How so?
The relations, I'm coming. They will know the relations. It follows naturally. Even intuitively or instinctively, they will know that they will report.
Are you saying that there are no moles in the police force who could have been working? Because over time we've had people say the police, some members of the police force or some personnel of the police are working hand in hand with the bandits.
In every 12, there may be a Judas. If God himself, Jesus Christ, will have 12 disciples and one of them will go ahead to betray him, I cannot sit here and totally rule out that there are no baddies. There could be some baddies. But one thing I love about the MPF and other security agencies, especially the MPF, is the process of weeding these people and facing appropriate sanctions. I told you when this program started, I talked about perception. I think the MPF need to conduct a perception survey, internal perception survey and external perception survey. And it's not too difficult. You go to University of Abuja, you get to the planning department, academic planning people. They can recruit students and others. How do people perceive you? In the way they actually perceive you. Don't assume. In the specifics, if your own brother, God forbid, is kidnapped, won't you report to the security agencies, either the police, the DSS, or whichever agency you intend to report? So the mere fact that they say this, oh, you have reported to police in Jos, it doesn't mean that somebody told them. But it is something that by their intuition and instinct, they will know. They know. Because, why? When people are discussing with them, because you make a phone call, you hear a voice, oh, maybe it's police at the back. I am not saying, don't misquote me. But, not that it don't happen, but very significant. And when they are detected, they are dealt with. If it becomes a norm that it becomes the practice of police to compromise information, it's a different thing. But when people who, out of ignorance and stupidity, choose to compromise their professionalism, they bear the brunt. They get dismissed. They get prosecuted.
Speaking of bearing the brunt, many Nigerians would say when police officers, commit a crime or they, probably shoot somebody, instead of being prosecuted, they're transferred to a different place, then the police force just, dies the matter. How do you respond to such a public belief?
When you report a case to the NPF or other security agencies, you will come and adduce evidence backed up by facts to say, yes, person did this. And that is a misconception that is being carried out. Oh, we arrested 10 armed robbers. We arrested 10 kidnappers. We handed them over to the police. They are back. The process of investigation is linking a suspect with a crime. And how do you link a suspect with a crime? Oh, it was you who attacked me on the 1st of December. I saw you. Oh, yes, you people were 3. You were wearing a bowler hat. You wore a yellow shirt. And from the scene, I found your ID card. You are bringing evidence. But when you come, you gather to 20 individuals. Say, they are the people terrorizing our community. It's good. But if you don't back with evidence, and you take to the court has no choice. They cannot manufacture evidence. And that is why it is always advocated in reforming the police, in either restructuring or rebuilding, which will culminate in reformation of the NPF. It cannot be done in isolation. The judiciary and the Correctional Center, the Nigerian Prison Service before, must be carried along. If you reform the NPF alone, so when you bring this, there must be all this support. And so every state has a responsibility to support the police and other agencies, the state councils, and the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution at the national level, and the Director of Public Prosecution at the state levels have a responsibility. And so they must put their eye on very important cases, so that when these arrests are made, their state councils, could be even the CID, to begin to provide guidance and or begin to offer training, so that from the beginning you have a process of guidance, so that you don't go to court and lose cases unnecessarily. And the correctional centers have the most important role to play, because you are housing people who have been convicted. They are no longer accused or suspected individuals, but they are persons who have been, convicted. So you cannot do anything without evidence. Somebody see, suspicion, no matter how strong, cannot lead to conviction. So I advocate again the process of training, and also collaboration, or the reform of the NPF. The judiciary and the correctional centers must go hand in hand, so that, because this must work in tandem. Otherwise, you are going to be having this misconception. Because last time I got a call from my friend. He said, we arrested one notorious kidnapper. We handed him over to the police. The DPO collected XYZ amount and released. And I called the DPO just about 2 weeks ago. I called the DPO and said, my people, my friend chief, they say, Oga, this is what they brought a man. Get somebody to come and make statement on so and so. Yes, I know they're afraid that if they make statement, but you can still give statement without, you conduct identification parade, you make statement. But it is almost impossible. But there are certain things circumstantially you can even prosecute. If from that person's place they found something that was taken from one of the victims or his phone or material linked with the person, they're happy. But when you bring, this man is a kidnapper, this man is a bandit, no gun, no victim, no exhibit, it makes the work difficult. So I am not holding forth for anybody, and I have no reason to do that. But the point I am making is we must be painstaking. It's a civic responsibility that we've got to assist. Even the law. There is even a law that when the police also is chasing a criminal and you're of good health and they ask you to follow them chase and you say you are not doing, I think the Criminal Procedure Code has a provision. So the issue of cooperation, if you arrest, very good, assist the law enforcement agencies to further, because they cannot convict on mere suspicion.
Very well
That's
said.
what I think.
Okay, we'll read this message from Bismarck Ekwem, who says the training college of police recruitment is an eyesore. I don't think the police leadership can, in all honesty, hope to train suitable police personnel in such places. I also understand that police personnel also buy their own uniforms. It's terrible. Thank you so much, Bismarck. It's quite unfortunate we'll have to wrap up now. We can take any more calls. I see the phone lines blinking, but we can't take any more calls because this conversation has just, naturally come to an end as a result of time. But we would say thank you so much, AIG Will Singh Inaligu, retired. Thank you so much for talking with us this morning.
Thank you. You're a beautiful station.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. Thank you. We hope to have you some other time to continue this conversation because it's quite an interesting one. We can't stop talking about the Nigerian police and how we can make it better. Thank you again. Stay with us on your radio experience. You can count on Business News is up next, and right after that, Olije takes over on 102.3 Extra. Stay here. My name is Ihia Natural Prince.
Eagles 102.3.
Eagles 102.3 makes good radio.
Welcome to Eagles 102.3 News Bits.
Here is the business news bit. President Muhammadu Buhari has submitted the Finance Bill 2021 to the National Assembly for consideration and passage to give legal backing to some of the proposals in the 2022 Appropriation Bill currently before the Parliament. The Speaker, House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, read the cover letter on the bill at the plenary on Thursday. According to the letter, the bill seeks to support the implementation of the 2022 Federal Budget of Economic Growth and Sustainability by proposing key reforms to specific taxations, customs, excise, fiscal, and other relevant laws. The latest projection of surplus oil supply by the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries has said Nigeria's revenue from crude oil sale may drop further in the first and second quarters of 2022. Industry analysts, as well as international organizations, had explained that the surplus supply of crude oil globally had often led to a drop in the commodity's price. Crude oil sales accounts for bulk of Nigeria's foreign exchange earnings, but the commodity has seen repeated plunge in price lately, a development currently being heightened by the emergence of the Omicron variant of the COVID-19 virus. Global oil data obtained from Statistical indicated that the average price of a barrel of Brent, the crude against which Nigeria's oil is priced, moved up from $57.77 per barrel in January 2021 to $83.54 in October. The Infrastructure Concession and Regulatory Commission, the federal government agency supervising the concession of the nation's 4 main international airports, has completed the evaluation of 13 companies that have submitted requests for qualification to participate in the bidding process. The development came about 5 weeks after the federal government closed the RFQ on October 25, 2021, having extended the deadline from September 25, 2021. The ICRC had revealed that a total of 13 airport consortia, comprising local and foreign companies, submitted bids to be pre-qualified for the planned concession of the 4 airports. It was earlier reported that the Courtney Aviation Services Limited, operators of the Muritala Mohammed Airport, Terminal 2, Lagos, was among the firms that submitted the RFQs for the airport concession program. The Nigerian Aviation Handling Company PLC has announced the second entry of United Airlines into the country after its voluntary exit in 2016. NACO said in a statement by its head of corporate commissions, Samuel Akirimadi, on Thursday that it had handled the American Airlines Lagos-Washington DC flight, which arrived in the country on Tuesday. The carrier's flight UAC-12 touched down at about 11:10 a.m. at the Muritala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, and was received by a host of dignitaries, according to NACO. The Nigeria Entrepreneurs Forum has said for Nigeria to effectively maximize the economic benefit of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, the federal government must institute measures to boost production and exports in the agricultural sector. The president of the NEF, Sydney Inegbedion, said this in Abuja on Wednesday during the leadership training on good corporate governance, market access and value chain development. According to Inegbedion, the country is blessed with abundant agricultural commodities and resources needed to boost its economic growth in the international market if effectively harnessed. He said the training was part of NEF strategies of enhancing the leadership of smallholder farmers through productive corporate governance and value chain development. And finally, a United Nations Development Programme certified agribusiness consultant, Ife Adeniyi, has called on the governors in southwest Nigeria to put measures in place that would end the region's dependence on food items coming from the northern part of the country. Adeniyi spoke in Osogbo while unveiling plans by a group, Agritourism Empowerment Foundation, to hold a 7-day food and drink festival in Osun State. She said, only well-planned and sustained efforts aimed at returning and keeping farmers on the farm would boost food production in the region and make agribusiness a stronger means of generating revenue for the government. As part of the group's contribution to food production, Adeniyi, the coordinator for the festival, said the event would bring together over 100,000 people across and outside Nigeria. That's the news. I am Mekamwa Osigodi. Good morning.
Thanks for listening. Join us again for more updates on Eagles 102.3 Abuja. Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Long weekend.
At last.
Spend this holiday locked in. My body got rid of them toxins.
Who's ready for winter? Woo! Nobody? Me either.
102.3.
Yo, you about to get addicted. If you don't believe me, let's bet. You're listening to an amazing voice that's coming through your headset. Better turn the rhythm up. ABJ, listen up. Only jazz in your speakers. No other show is big enough. She's bringing you extra. Let me wrap it off. From the latest bangers to the classic songs. Everything extra amazing. We're bringing your way. JR, man, I've been taking a look at the radio waves. So you better stay tuned to that extra show. Only jazz on the mic with that special glow. This is pure entertainment for the people. Tell them. 102.3. This is Eagle FM, huh? What up, ABJ? This your boy JR. Summer Mag of Entertainment all up in your area. We are in the building where everything is extra and everything is amazing. When my girl Olija is on the mic, don't touch that dial. Keep it locked right here. 102.3. Peace and love. One.